Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome to another survival horror video for today. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming game based on H.P. Lovecraft's popular short story, Call of Cthulhu. Now the game we're talking about today shouldn't be confused with The Sinking City, which is another Cthulhu related horror game that is coming out soon. I may talk more about that game at a later date, but it's not really survival horror, so not right now. Maybe later, I don't know, not really seen much on it. Call of Cthulhu, the official video game, is a first-person role-playing survival horror game coming from the devs over at Cyanide Studios, who have a kind of weird track record. Cyanide mostly release sports games like Le Tour de France, Blood Bowl, which is actually a pretty cool American football game. If you've not seen that, it's pretty fun. You can get it in the Xbox Game Pass if you have an Xbox, and it's always for cheap on PC, so you can get it there. And Cycling Manager. Yeah, it's a pretty weird dev, to be honest. Very weird background. The game, however, was originally being developed by Frogware Studio, who are known for making the Sherlock Holmes games, and they're now actually making the Sinking City, so yeah. I have no idea what quarrels happened in the background, but maybe the publisher and the devs had a disagreement on what Call of Cthulhu should be, or not, but well, the development went to Cyanide. I'm guessing the publisher was like, yeah, this game needs to be made, so Cyanide, you're a developer that's under our wing. On you go, see what you can do. And yeah, hopefully they do well. The game follows Edward Pierce, a former war veteran and private investigator in 1920s Boston. Edward finds himself in the disturbing Dark War Island where he'll be investigating the tragic and mysterious death of Sarah Hopkins, an acclaimed artist who moved to Darkwar Island with her husband and family. In one of the trailers, it sounds like a man is trying to tell Edward about his dream, which, to those of you who have read the Call of Cthulhu short story, will actually sound familiar. The man talks about his dreams of a lifeless city in the deep sea, which, yeah, what the man is talking about is the city of R'lyeh. R'lyeh. Or R'lyeh. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know, like, the whole thing about Lovecraft and, like, Cthulhu mythos and all that is that Cthulhu in R'lyeh is not the actual pronunciation of it. It's meant to be spoken in, like, an alien tongue. So, you don't really, yeah, there's not really a correct pronunciation of it, so I'm just going to call it R'lyeh. The dream is a factor in the short story, with many characters experiencing the same dream. This actually has me thinking, will Edward have dream sequences where he'll be experiencing this dream as well? Maybe. It was actually a cool thought. It'd be really cool if they actually implemented that. It's like you had to go to bed at some point, or you're drugged and you experience this weird dream. Be awesome. Another point I noticed in the trailers is the dead whales that lay on the beaches of Dark War. The appearances of the whales could be a result of the rituals performed by the Call of Cthulhu, and an indication that Cthulhu might be returning, and he's fucking up some whales in the process. Not much is known about the story apart from that, to be honest. Judging from the trailer, Ethan will be going up against the Cthulhu cult, as well as trying to deal with his own sanity, which will affect the gameplay, and we'll actually come back to that. From what we've been told so far is that there's only one gun in the game, that being Edward's trusty sidearm. Ammo for this gun is scarce on the island, so you must use them wisely. The gun might be effective on human enemies, but might do fuck all against the big beasties that are going to be coming at you in the game. Big beasties, I mean, it's like big tentacle shit comes out of the water. And also Cthulhu, of course, when that god awakens. I don't think a small sidearm will hurt him in the slightest, but you know, maybe there's a big boss battle, I don't know. Most of the game though, you'll be silently sneaking into and around areas you're not meant to be in. This means that you could be sneaking around a monster in a forbidden cavern or trying to observe a ritual by the Cthulhu cult themselves. The more you explore Dark War and see more supernatural shit, the more Edward will lose his sanity. Even just by looking at a monster for too long will heavily affect the sanity of Ethan. Ethan? Sorry, I'm mucking that up with like Resident Evil 7.
Ethan? Ethan? Ethan?
Depending on your sanity level, Edward will start to suffer from hallucinations. This means that you might start wasting ammo on a monster only to realise moments later that it wasn't even real in the first place. Over the course of the game, Your character will start to develop phobias. An example of this is claustrophobia, a phobia that you could develop if you find yourself hiding from monsters and cultists in closed spaces. This can result in your sanity decreasing and makes Edward start to panic when he's hiding, making it easier to find him for the things chasing him. These phobias might hinder your progress through the game and not allow you to progress through certain areas of the map. Like if you're, maybe if there's that phobia of like, you don't like going into water, and the only way to get inside a building is to go underwater, then you're kind of fucked. Clues that you uncover during your investigation might be the work of your imagination. So this means that your entire case and conclusion might be entirely invalid. There are skill trees in the game that improves Edward's investigating skills. You can also gather pieces of evidence that are completely irrelevant to your investigation. And it won't stop your game at all. The game will continue to let you think that you're on the right path with your evidence, but in fact, you have got it all wrong. A true detective game in the works here. That's why I like it. I'm actually so excited for it, just for this like aspect alone. The fact that literally I have to piece everything together and then get a good ending, hopefully. I don't know. Lovecraft don't really. Well, he doesn't really have any good endings in his books. It usually just ends very poorly for the protagonist. You can gather too much information that will affect your sanity and result in you gathering more phobias, which is quite scary. But at the same time, kind of realistic. Is like, yeah, what happens if you found out that, let's say, the US government actually did house aliens in Area 51, and aliens did truly exist and they were among society? Like, that would make you kind of go a little bit batshit crazy, to be honest, and make everyone else think you're batshit crazy. In Call of Cthulhu, the players are allowed to roam around a semi-open world. If you don't know what this means, it's basically saying that it's more like Resident Evil 7 and not anything like GTA 5 where you can go wherever you want and do whatever you want. I can imagine areas of the map being locked off to the player until you obtain the right clues and progress with your investigation. The world has a nice atmosphere to it. Dark Water has this greenish glow to it, which gives the player the feeling that something is off. Something's not right about this place. When reading the book, I always imagined Relia having the same greenish glow, so good job to developers for the atmosphere. For me personally, the second I saw the E3 trailer for this game, it had me hooked. I'm honestly so excited to see what this game turns out to be, and I hope that it's just not another disappointment like most games are nowadays. In terms of what I want for gameplay, I would like to see it be similar to Resident Evil 7. That being a good mix between using your gun to get out of situations and stealth. Like in RE7 you could either get around Jack Baker by just being stealthy, or you can put a shit ton of bullets into him, but at the end of the day he'll always get back up. I want the investigation side of things to be as good as the developers promised. I want serious consequences if I fuck up clues and don't come up with the right conclusion. Apparently there is 4 endings to this game depending on your sanity, so that should be quite interesting. Hopefully there's more endings based off your actual investigation and clues and all that, and not just on the sanity part. Or maybe like intertwine, I don't know. So yeah, that's all I have to say for Call of Cthulhu, the official video game. I really hope to give you more information about the game, to be honest, but there's just not that much information out there. The developers, I don't know if the game's even coming out this year. I really hope to give you a release date for that, but yeah, I don't know when the release date is. I'll link more videos down below to the trailers, the gameplay video, and also I think it's Outside Xbox, and there are 6 really messed up things about Call of Cthulhu or some shit like that it's called. So I'll link all those down in the description below. If you all have a survival horror game you want me to talk about or cover, please leave it in the comment section below because I would love to check it out. I love seeing more horror games just pop up nowadays that are quite unique. So yeah guys, that is all from me, and yeah, bye-bye.